All right, so today we're going to tackle a part of your business that's, well, it's absolutely critical, but let's be real. It's probably seen as more of a cost center than a strategic asset. I'm talking about fund accounting. We're going to explore why shifting your perspective on this could actually be a huge game changer for your firm's growth.
And let's just start by putting this quote right out there. It's true, right? You're probably not discussing NAV calculations over dinner. But here's the thing. In the world of finance, getting fund accounting wrong can lead to some seriously costly errors and major regulatory headaches. But getting it right, well, that can unlock some incredible opportunities for growth.
For a really long time, the default setting for most firms has been to just handle all of this in-house. But that traditional approach, it comes with a whole lot of challenges that are kind of hidden in plain sight.
So you have to ask yourself this simple question. But the answer, it's a lot more complex than you'd think. It goes way, way beyond just a single person's salary.
I mean, sure, the obvious cost is salaries, of course. But the real financial weight, the stuff that really drags you down, comes from the costs you don't always see on one clean line item. We're talking about the constant training to keep up with ever-changing regulations, those eye-wateringly expensive software licenses, and all the general overhead that comes with it. These aren't just costs. They are a fixed, recurring drain on your resources.
So, what's the alternative? Well, we're seeing this major strategic shift happening across the industry, a move toward outsourcing. And it's not just about cutting costs anymore, it's a deliberate decision to operate smarter.
And just to make sure we're all on the same page here, let's do a quick definition. Fund accounting isn't your average everyday bookkeeping. Nope, it's this very specialized way of tracking finances on a fund-by-fund basis. And that is absolutely crucial for keeping investors in the loop and staying on the right side of regulators. This really is the modern answer to that whole in-house dilemma. Outsourcing can totally transform fund accounting from this costly internal department into a lean, streamlined service. It gives you access to world-class expertise, without all the overhead that comes with it.
So what are the actual concrete benefits? Well, the whole case for outsourcing really stands on 4 incredibly powerful pillars that directly tackle the biggest challenges of that old in-house model.
And what's cool is how these pillars build on each other. First up, you've got cost efficiency. You only pay for what you actually need. Then there's on-demand expertise, which means you're tapping into specialists you could probably never afford to hire full-time. Third is effortless scalability, letting you grow without all the hiring nightmares. And finally, you get access to an advanced tech stack without you having to foot the massive bill for it.
When you see it laid out side by side like this, the advantages are just crystal clear. Instead of being locked into high fixed costs, you pay as you go. Instead of being limited to your internal team's knowledge, you get a whole army of specialists. Scaling is no longer this huge headache, and you're never, ever behind on technology. At the end of the day, it's a shift from a rigid, super expensive model to one that's flexible, smart, and expert-driven.
But of course, none of this works if you don't pick the right partner. The success of outsourcing really depends entirely on the quality and the fit of the firm you decide to work with.
So here's a quick little checklist to help guide you. First, does the firm have deep expertise in your specific niche, whether that's private equity or real estate or something else? Are their data security protocols absolutely top-notch? Can they actually tailor their services to what your fund needs? And maybe, most importantly, will they give you clear, transparent reporting? These things are totally non-negotiable.
Okay, now for the big question. This is probably the #1 thing on every fund manager's mind. It's your business, right? Your data, your reputation. You don't want to just hand over the keys and lose all sight of what's going on. And the answer is a resounding yes, you can. A true partner doesn't take over, they integrate with you. They should be providing real-time reports and setting up really clear approval processes so that you always have the final say and complete visibility into exactly what's happening.
And right on the heels of control is the other huge issue, security. I mean, we are talking about incredibly sensitive financial information here. How can you possibly be sure it's safe?
Look, any reputable firm invests a ton of money in international security standards. It's a core part of their business model. This means your data is protected by multiple layers of encryption, it's housed on super secure servers, and it's subject to regular, independent audits just to make sure everything is locked down tight.
So, as we start to wrap this up, let's pull back and look at the big picture again. This decision, whether to outsource or not, it isn't just about tweaking your accounting process. It's about making a fundamental shift in your company's focus.
And that is the real prize. Sure, the cost savings are great, they're significant, but the ultimate advantage is freeing up your time, your capital, and your team's precious energy. It lets you stop managing a support function and start pouring all those resources into what actually grows your business, finding deals, managing assets, and serving your investors.
And that really brings us to the final question I want to leave you with. It gets right to the heart of this entire strategic conversation. Where is your firm's most valuable time and energy being spent right now? And where should it be?